Namaste. Good morning to those of you joining us from India, and good evening to those of you joining from America and other parts of the world. Welcome to the Global Festival of Oneness, celebrating the life and works of Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya ji. This is a month-long festival that started on his Jayanti, April 28th, and today we are on the 18th day, session 1. It's been an incredible food for thought and food for the soul, listening to speakers from all over the world, Swamiji, Swaminis, thinkers, authors, management professors, and so many different perspectives on what is the relevance of Adi Shankara's life and his works. We have 2 sessions every day. The first session is at 6 o'clock in the morning at 6 a.m. IST, and the second session at 6:30 p.m. IST, the Indian Standard Time. And for each session, we have 2 presentations. And today we have the honor of Professor Kaipa and his group of young people that he has brought on for a conversation on awakening Shankara within us. Dr. Prasad Kaipa is on the advisory board of Advaita Academy, the primary engine behind this festival all over the world. Dr. Kaipa has a very stellar career and a long bio, and I'm really honored to say he's my mentor and someone who has inspired me to do what I do today. He is a leadership and innovation advisor and a CEO coach, worked with so many C-level executives, including with the legendary Steve Jobs. He has been a director at the Indian School of Business. He's an author. The most recent book, From Smart to Wise, and many of you probably heard his wisdom on the opening day and also throughout this festival. He's also been ranked as the top 50 thinkers in the world by management thinkers, the 50, and he has worked with companies all over the world, and extremely wonderful human being and an expert on Vedanta. And he has co-founded so many organizations, the Hindu Community Institute in the Bay Area, serves on more than dozen boards, and been a mentor advisor for so many entrepreneurs, including myself. And his legacy continues, and so many. He's also author of the book, Discontinuous Learning, and his books are available in 5 different languages: French, Turkish, and Portuguese. And most importantly, he has been a strong supporter and one of the first persons I called when I had this idea for this festival. So Prasad Garu and Sandeep Garu, and Mr. Padmakar ji and Raghu Kishore ji, welcome to the Global Festival of Oneness. Prasad Garu, please proceed with your group's presentation. You need to unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, and really appreciate the introduction, Ravi Garu. I'm just a person who needs to do what needs to get done, and things happen. Today, for the talk, Awakening the Shankara Within Us, I have some wonderful group of young participants who are going to participate with me. Let me ask Sandeep, who has been a singer, who has been trained in the tradition of Annamacharya, to start with a prayer, and then we'll go forward from there. So Sandeep.
Sir, namaste. So, how are you doing, sir? Good morning and namaste everyone. I'm going to present Nirvana Shaktam today as a part of the festival. So, as this is one of the very famous compositions by Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya, I will be starting with this, then going ahead with one Kirtana, which signifies the teachings of Shankaracharya. Manobuddhyahankara chittani naham na श्रोत्रजिह्वेन च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमि न तेजो न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 न च प्राणसंयो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोशः न वा पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहो मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञ अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न मृत्युर्न शङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभुत्वाच्च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां न चासङ्गतं नैव मुक्तिर्न मेयः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Prasad ji. So you want me to go ahead with the next one?
Please.
Okay. So, this being the Shankaracharya festival, and I practice and sing Annamachari Kirtanas. I'm the student of Padma Shri Dr. Shobha Raj Garu. So I thought there have been a lot of people, a lot of saints, and so many people who have been inspired by Shankaracharya and Advaita philosophy. So I thought, why not take an Annamachari Kirtana, which depicts the essence of whatever Shankaracharya has preached, and in one word, Annamaya has taught everyone Brahma Mokkate. So this is one of the Sankirtanas which tells the whole essence in one word, Brahma Mokkate. So I think this would be apt Sankirtana for this occasion. I just thought I'll sing that. I would start this Sankirtana with a Bhagavad Gita shloka and then go ahead with the Kirtana. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunu Chaiva Shvapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina Pandita Samadarshina Brahma Mokkate Para Brahma Mokkate Tandananahi Tandanana Pure Tandanana Bhala Tandanana Bhala Tandanana Bhala Tandanana Brahma Mokkate Para Brahma Mokkate Para Brahma Mokkate Para Brahma Mokkate Tandananahi Tandanana Pure Tandanana Bhala Tandanana Bhala Tandanana Bhala Tandanana Kanduvagu Heenadhikamulendu levu Andariki Sri Hare Antaratma Kanduvagu Heenadhikamulendu levu Andariki Sri Hare Antaratma Indulo జంతు కులమింతా ఒకటే ఇందులో జంతు కులమింతా ఒకటే అందరికి శ్రీ హరే అంతరాత్మ హరే అంతరాత్మ శ్రీ హరే అంతరాత్మ శ్రీ హరే శ్రీ హరే శ్రీ హరే శ్రీ హరే అంతరాత్మ Hare Antaratma, Sri Hare Antaratma, Tandanana hi, Tandanana pure, Tandanana bhala, Tandanana bhala, Tandanana bhala, Tandanana. Nindara Razu Nidrinsu Nidrayunokate. అండనే పంటు నిద్రదియు నొకటే నిండార రాజు నిద్రించు నిద్రయు నొకటే అండనే బంటు నిద్రదియు నొకటే మెండైన బ్రాహ్మణుడు మెట్టు భూమి ఒకటే చండాలుడుండేటి సరి భూమి ఒకటే మెండైన బ్రాహ్మణుడు మెట్టు భూమి ఒకటే చండాలుడుండేటి సరి భూమి ఒకటే చండాలుడుండేటి సరి భూమి ఒకటే తందనానాయి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భళ తందనానా భళ తందనానా భళ తందనానా కడగియే నుగు మీద కాయు ఎండొకటే ఉడమి సునకము మీద కొలయు ఎండొకటే కడగియే నుగు మీద కాయు ఎండొకటే ఉడమి సునకము మీద కొలయు ఎండొకటే కడు పుణ్యులను పాపకర్ములను సరిగావా జడు శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వరు నామా ఒకటే కడు పుణ్యులను పాపకర్ములను సరిగావా జడు శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వరు నామా ఒకటే జడు శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వరు నామా ఒకటే తందనానాయి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భళ తందనానా భళ తందనానా భళ తందనానా బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే తందనానాహి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భళ 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 తందనానా
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sandeep. I really appreciate you starting this in that way. So we will take it from here to the next part. Thanks for starting it off in a good way. So what I'm going to do now is to start a presentation a little bit, and then I'll give you a context for next part, which we're calling it as a Kavita Goshti. So once I set the context for awakening Sankara in us, we will have Sankarastakam that Raghu Kishore has written in Sanskritam. And then we will have some more conversation with Padmakar, who also wrote Shankara Guru Stotram. And I'll make quick comments in the end. And after that, we will have the second video on Dakshinamurti Stotras, which will come out. So we already heard Sandeep. The question it comes down to is, why should we awaken the Sankara in us? So we are going through some pretty tricky times, as you know. And that even if somebody says, we know what will happen, but nobody has a clue what will happen. And when we will end this crisis or what will happen. And everything that we know obviously is going to change from the way in which we are doing it. So how do we gain the strength, spiritual strength and maturity, as well as the immunity that we need to face our future? So the best way to do that would be to go from our egos, our identities, and to discover somebody larger, discover a role model, discover something, the divine spirit, the teacher spirit in us. So we may not be able to just look at who we are. Maybe it is time we need to say Aham Sankaroham or Sankarevayaham. May not be Sivoham yet, but let us ask the Guru to invoke us. In this particular small talk, I thought I will look at Sankara as an acronym as well, because it is much easier. If we can remember some things through an acronym, it becomes a lot easier. So I will go through each one, the Samatva Bhavam, Samanvaya Bhavam, and what he brought in the context of fearlessness in his commentary to Taittiriya Upanishad and Aitareya Upanishad, some of them. And the whole idea, his philosophy of the Jiva Brahmaiva, Ekatvam, Advaita Bhavam, as we call it. In addition to that, through his stotras, the compassion that he addressed like for example, the Kanakadarastavam, like a Karuna that he brings in. And of course, the entire Brahma Sutra Bhashya is, one of the most important part which he wrote is about the Adhyasa Bhashya. So to be able to address the ignorance that is within us. And finally, the last two, it is not just Shankaracharya who talked about, but even the Bhagavan Sri Krishna talks about how do we control our ego and how do we control the rajas within us. And finally, everything Shankaracharya did, he did it in a peaceful approach. So let me go into each one of those a little bit. The first one, if we look at, is about, first let's see. We'll go to equanimity, Shankara. He says in his Bhajagovinda Stotram, he pretty much says, do not get attached to anybody whom you know. The equanimity is the most important, but if you get attached to your relationships, whether it is son, whether it is grandfather, whether it is a friend, whether it is a spouse, any time you get attached, that leads to problems. What is said is obviously something that even in Bhagavad Gita we talk about. Sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho bijayate, krodhod bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibramaha, suti brahmsat buddhinaso, buddhinasat pranasyati. So the entire second chapter, if you look at the idea of Sitaprajna, is about developing that equanimity, especially as we are facing the corona in the 21st century, whether we are in India, whether we are in Europe, whether we are in the United States, unless we develop a certain equanimous attitude towards our jobs, towards economy, towards the opportunities, towards how we work in the future, we will actually go up and down quite a bit, and we don't need an external problem. We will actually have a lot of issue. Interesting, like when I talk about Shankara, I find that there are large number of people who who kind of pronounce him as Shankara. He is not Shankara or he is not Sankara. It is to be said from the middle of the part, Sankara, Shankara. He brought harmony in everything. What did he do? He brought, he knew that the Shakti worshippers, the Shiva worshippers, the Vishnu worshippers, Surya worshippers, and Ganapatyas, all of them were having a problem. He brought a samanvayam between all of them. So he's like a Vedavyasa of today. He brought, different matas, different groups to be brought into 10 different matas to be done. Even in the matas that he established, he brought people from, like a Sureshwaracharya, he brought from the north and he put him in Sringeri. Like that, there are different languages, different teachers, different ways in which he brought people to come together and create a harmony in all of them. The third thing Shankara represents that we need to develop in our own characteristics is a sense of fearlessness. Whenever we are afraid, like somebody said, whenever there is one more of us, if there is somebody else like us, then the fear comes. Because we want to be the best, we want to be the only one, we want to be the everything. Shankara, when he is commenting on the Taittiriya Upanishad, Anandavalli 7th chapter, after he says Raso Vaisaha, where does the fear come from? When we don't know the truth about ourselves, there is fear. When we think that who we are ultimately or somebody other than Brahman, then we have fear. But once we recognize who we are is nothing but the Brahman, then there is no fear. So the key thing is, wherever we have a conflict, whatever we are afraid of, whomever we are afraid of, or whoever you think that is opposing you, whoever is projecting a different point of view, if we can look at it and say, is it possible that their point of view is equally valid? How do I bring samanvayam, the previous point which we talked about? How do I not be afraid and take on a war path, but figure out a way in which I can actually look at what they said and figure out a way to integrate it? In some respects, people say Shankara did the same thing. While he removed Buddhism from a large part of India, he also made Buddha one of the Dasavataras of Vishnu, in that respect that we reduce the animosity and enmity towards Buddhism. While this may not be possible, while this may be controversial, when we can operate from a non-fear mode, we will be able to take on a lot more, because the love comes in when the fear is not there. So how do we not have fear is when we begin to recognize that everybody is one. That is what is ultimately the Advaita Bhavam. It comes. This is a wonderful sloka. You know, it is one of 3 or 4 more slokas that are there. But I love this particular sloka, which talks about, you know, like whether we use the Nirvana Satakam that Sandeep so beautifully sang, or whether we take this slokam, it would be worth meditating every day. Who am I? You know, just like Shankaracharya, when he met his teacher on the riverbed of Narmada, when teacher asks him, who are you? He's supposed to have sung the Nirvana Satakam and say, I am this, you know, I am Sivoham, Sivoham, Sivoham. In this particular case, when I become aware, when I begin to recognize that I am more than my body, more than my emotions, more than my antakarana, and then that might actually not only reduce the fear, but we will develop a certain sense of wholeness, like Purnamadam Purnamidaha. That the idea of Purnatva Bhavam is something that we can develop much more easily. In addition to the Purnatva Bhavam and fearlessness, it is also extremely important that we develop Karuna. Of course, Karuna, we talk about Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, you know, along with Maitri, are something that we talk about in Yoga Sutras as well. But Karuna has an extraordinarily important part, especially now. There are so many people who are not as, you know, what you might call comfortable as we are in the Corona lockdown period, who might have much less money, who might have much less comforts, much less support than we have. If we can figure out a way to help those people, if we can spend some time, spend some of our resources to provide resources to other people, I think then we will be living the path of Shankara. As we said earlier, when, and of course, this will be something that Raghu as well as Padmakar will talk a lot about. Shankara's first sloka is supposed to be, even when he was very young, is supposed to be Kanakadarastavam. It is time for us to move from coronavirus spread to Karuna virus spread. Actually, there is a what you might call a website you might want to check up called Karuna virus. We should spread this Karuna virus as widely as possible, as much as possible, because we need a lot more Karuna in the world than ever before. Then as we look at the last two, what it comes down to, what stops us from living to a certain extent from the inspiration that Shankara has provided. If we want to awaken Shankara within us, we need to let go of our ego, the rajas. You know, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna ji says, Nitya Sattvotsavo Bhavar Jana. He says, you need to let go of rajas and raise to Sattvaguna. So how do we deal with our ego? How do we find a way where we can surrender, like either whether you call it a Saranagati or whether you talk about at some level letting go. When we can let go of our ego, then somehow we find magic within our life. So whether it is daily conversations or daily work or relationships with our friends, I think majority of the time conflict seems to come about when there is rajas, when there is ego. So putting that aside, we will be able to awaken the Shankara a lot more. So let me conclude this talk by saying the last piece where we need to pay a lot of attention to is whatever we are approaching, whatever conflicts that we have, whatever problems that we have to solve, if we can find a peaceful approach, The ahimso paramo dharmaha, it is said. But it is not only that. If you notice that in the 32 years that Shankara lived, everything he resolved, everything that he came across, he did it through samvada, he did it through ahimsa, and he was able to pretty much show that everything he faced in his life could be dealt with ahimsa. What if we can try to practice that in our own way? Ahimsa towards our family, ahimsa towards our workmates, and of course, ultimately ahimsa towards oneself, so that we can deal with our own emotions. If we can operate from these different, what you might call words that lead to 8 characteristics that I have listed: equanimity, harmony, fearlessness, seeing oneness in everybody and everything, karuna, addressing our own ignorance and avidya, and dealing with our ego, and taking a peaceful approach to resolving conflicts, then I'm sure we'll be able to bring out not only Shankara in us, but also probably the Shiva in us. Then we can say Shankaroham and Shivoham. With that, I would like to invite 2 wonderful young friends of mine. One is Raghu Kishore and then Padmakar. Both of them I have come to know in past 3-4 years, and we have had some wonderful journeys. We walked recently along with Sandeep and a few other people. We all walked about 50 kilometers to Srisailam before Shivaratri last year, and I got to know a lot. And first, let me invite Raghu Kishore. Raghu Kishore is a wonderful young man who works for Infosys during the day, and in addition to managing his family, he writes a large number of stotras and shatakas, and he is writing, even if when I talked to him last time, he was telling me that he already has written like 600, right, Raghu? 600 stotras or so on Lakshmi Narasimha Swami as well. So let me invite Raghu to recite his, first of all, Shankara Stotram that he wrote in Sanskritam, and then explain a little bit more, and we'll take it forward from there. So Raghu, the floor is yours.
Pranams Prasad Mahodaya. Pranams to all. Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. With the grace of Sri Sharda Mata, I wrote one Guru Shankara Stotra. So I strongly believe that nothing else than Sri Sharda Mata's grace to make such an attempt on Sri Adi Shankaracharya. And the stotra goes like this. Sri Gurum Bhagavat Padam Jnana Marga Prakashakam Shruti Smriti Purananam Namami Guru Shankaram. Sri Gurum Bhagavat Padam Jnana Marga Prakashakam. The Sri has so many meanings in Sanskrit language. Here it is splendor and good fortune. And Sri Adi Shankaracharya is the enlightener of the path of Jnana. Shruti Smriti Susarajnam Namami Guru Shankaram. The literature that Sri Adi Shankaracharya gave us, it is the cream of Shruti and Smriti. Shruti, the Vedas, and Smriti, the Dharma Shastras of sages which we received. Namami Guru Shankaram. Guru has 2 meanings here. One is the teacher, and other is extended, large, excessive. And Shankara also has 2 meanings. One is Adi Shankaracharya, and the other is Shem Karoti. So I am bowing down to Guru Shankaracharya, and also the one who is the benevolent of all human race. And the second shloka goes like this. Aryambaya tanujancha swayam shivaguro sutam sadachara pravaktaram namami Guru Shankaram. In his Purvashrama, Adi Shankaracharya, he was son of Aryamba and Shivaguru. Sri Shivaguru and Aryamba made prayers to Vrishachala Shivalingam. Then the Kailasa Shankara appeared in the dream of Sri Shivaguru and said that he will incarnate as his son. Later, Shankaracharya came as incarnation of Sri Kailasa Shankara. Sadachara Pravaktaram Namami Guru Shankaram. At that time, there were many bad practices before Sri Adi Shankaracharya. So Sri Adi Shankaracharya condemned all those bad practices and spread Sadachara to human race. So I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Niswangana gruhe bhuri swarna vrishti prakalpakam samsara taranadharam namami Guru Shankaram. In Purvashrama, when Sri Adi Shankara Varya was in Balyavastha, one day Sri Adi Shankaracharya went for alms. So he asked Bhavati Bhikshandehi to a Brahmin lady. That poor Brahmin lady gave a dried amalaka fruit to Sri Adi Shankaracharya as she has nothing else to give him at her home. So Shankaracharya understood her poverty and prayed Goddess Lakshmi with Kanakadhara Stotra. Then Goddess Lakshmi rained golden amalaka fruits. Niswangana gruhe bhuri swarna vrishti prakalpakam samsara taranadharam namami Guru Shankaram. He is the one who enables us to cross the samsara, and he is the one who supports us to live like a water drop on lotus leaf. So I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Advaita bodhakam bhavyam pashanda mata bhedakam veda jnana pravaktaram namami Guru Shankaram. Sri Adi Shankaracharya gave what is present in Brahma Sutras in context of Advaita. So he was the speaker of Advaita. At that time, there were 72 Avaidika religions. So he defeated all of them with the concepts of Advaita. Veda Jnana Pravaktaram Namami Guru Shankaram. Whatever Sri Adi Shankaracharya gave was only from Vedas or related to Vedas only. So he gave nothing which is not linked to Vedas. So I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Prasthanatraya bhashyanam karakancha jagadgurum shanmata sthapanacharyam namami Guru Shankaram. He gave inner context of Prasthanatraya, that is Brahma Sutras, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads in the form of bhashya. So he is the Jagat Guru. He is the Guru for all of us. Shanmata sthapana acharyam namami Guru Shankaram. Hindus used to pray so many deities along with the main deities at that time. So Sri Adi Shankaracharya established Shanmata and fixed our main deities to 6 as Aditya, Ambika, Vishnu, Gananatha, Maheshwara and Skanda. So I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Ajnana timiranjishtam prajnana pradadeshikam sujnana ghana rupam cha namami Guru Shankaram. Shankaracharya is the son to remove darkness of ajnana within us. So when we do prayers to Sri Adi Shankaracharya, with that prayers, as his son, he removes darkness of ajnana from us. Sujnana ghana rupam cha namami Guru Shankaram. He himself is incarnation of Sri Kailasa Shankara. He is the Shuddha Swarupa of Jnana. I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Ameya karuna sindhum stotraneka vidhayakam satyadandadharam sadhum namami Guru Shankaram. There is no limit for his mercy on his students. We all are his students. His mercy is like an ocean. He did so many stotras. The literature he gave was abundant. He wrote stotra on every deity in Sanatana Dharma. Satyadandadharam sadhum namami Guru Shankaram. He took Satyadanda and roamed around India 4 times and established 4 Amnaya Pithas to protect Sanatana Dharma. I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaram Sarvalokanam Shankartinasha Bhaskaram Shankaram Kevalam Shambhur Namami Guru Shankaram. Shankaracharya is benevolent of human race. He is the one who demolished our doubts, and he is the one who only demolishes our doubts in the path of sadhana and also in our day-to-day life. He is the only Kailasa Shankara in the form of human. So I bow down to that Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Sharadaya prasadena Shankararyasya padayo Krutam Raghukishorena Stotramidam Samarpitam. I don't think my knowledge and my words and my efforts are enough to make stotra on Sri Adi Shankaracharya. What I did was merely grace of Sri Sharada Mata. So I offer this stotra as garland to the lotus feet of Sri Adi Shankaracharya.
Wonderful, wonderful, Raghu. Thank you very much for composing this for us and what you call singing this for us. I know you are quite a capable person. I have a couple of questions. How did you get interested in writing these kinds of Shankaracharya, this ones? You are not like a, what you call a sannyasi, or you are not in Vanaprastha stage. You got married, you have a young kid and you work in Infosys. So when do you find time and how do you find the interest in Shankara along with all these things?
Yeah, I keep a little space along with my day-to-day work. So I keep a bit for Sahitya. So I am studying Sahitya from my father, Telugu literature, Telugu Vyakarna and Chandas, and NCT Acharyalu, from NCT Acharyalu Sanskrit. So I try to keep some space in the morning and also in the evening for Sahitya. And I would like to add a few things at here from Annapurnashtaka that shall I go ahead for adding?
Go ahead. Yeah, please add.
Sri Adi Shankaracharya in Annapurna Stotra ended with a shloka. Mata cha Parvati Devi Pita Devo Maheshwaraha Bandhava Shiva Bhaktanam Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam. So our father, the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumba was given from Adi Shankaracharya, like our mother is Parvati Mata and our father is Shankara, Sri Kailasa Shankara. So everyone in this world is our relative. Bandhava Shiva Bhaktanam. Shiva is the benevolent. So everyone, every other person in the world is our relative. And Swadesho Bhuvanatriyam, this entire world is our country. So this concept gives us to make ourselves as a global one, not limited to ourselves. So for this, just I'll extend one shloka that about Shankara's, Sri Kailasa Shankara's family, like Rudro Mundadharo Bhujanga Sahito Gauri tu Sadbhushana Skanda Shambhusuta Shedananayuta Stundi Chalambodaraha Simha Krelima Mushakancha Vrishabhash Stesham Nijam Vahana Mitham Shambhu Gruhe Vibhinnamati Shuchaityam Sada Vartate. Sri Bhagavan Shankara, he wear snakes and skulls as garlands, while Mata Parvati wear gold ornaments and gems. So of course, she herself is Bhushana to Shankara with Vamabhaga. So looking at his son, Skanda and Ganapati, Skanda is with 6 faces, Shedanana, and Ganapati with tusk and Lambodar with a large stomach. Skanda Shambhusuta Shedananayutastundi Chalambodara Simhakreli Mamusha Kancha Vrishabhastejam Nijam Vahanam. And their vehicles are, one is Simha, that is lion, peacock, Mushaka, rat, and Vrishabha, ox. So these animals have enmity to their to each other by nature.
Right.
Ittam Shambhugruhe Vibhinnamati Shuchaityam Sada Vartate. Though they have a different nature, each one is different in nature and peculiar, all are together at Kailasa with love on each other. So nowadays, I think that we need to take to globally like this only. Nowadays, family members are staying across the globe, and most of them are staying away from home. So each person is different. Each person is peculiar, just like Shankar Bhagavan's family. So we have understand that each person's nature is different within our families, and that we meet in our day-to-day life. So we need to consider these 2 shlokas as our guiding principles. As a family member of everyone is family member of Sri Shankar Bhagavan. So as a family member of Sri Shankar Bhagavan, we need to accept each other, and if we accept all with whom we interact and manage our life, then that would be definitely create harmony in our life. That is the true Advaita in samsara. Advaita for Tarana.
Where can you find these slokas? Can you tell us so that the audience can also know? Where do you find these slokas?
Yeah, Annapurnashtaka is available, and
mainly it is very well known. But these 2 last 2 slokas.
Yes, Rudro Mundadharo. From my father, I recite Shankaracharya slokas and all. I'll share that. Those
slokas. Okay, that's wonderful, Raghu. So actually, I should have made my presentation in the end. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is what Advaita in samsara we can say.
So you practice Advaita in samsara, not just Advaita after sannyasa.
As a gruhastu, I think as a gruhastu, we need to practice Advaita in samsara in order to reach that state.
That's an excellent one. Thank you very much for all that you bring, both as an engineer and a gruhastu, plus as a kavi. You have really brought certain personification of Sankara Tattvam in what you presented. Thank you again. And now I'll call your friend and colleague. I think you guys write together sometimes, right? You even wrote songs.
Yes. Myself and Padmakar, we do write together.
You write together.
Padmakar is a great poet.
If I remember right, you Padmakar write and Sandeep sings. So it's a good combination that you have. Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you again for appearing today. And please, you can stay on it. And then I'll call Padmakar right now to come on, and then we'll continue conversation with Padmakar. Thanks again. Padmakar, can you put your video on so that we can see your wonderful face?
I think my video has been disabled by the administrator. Can you please have that
I don't
done?
think so. You checked.
The host has disabled. The host has disabled. I get the message that the host has disabled.
You get the message that the host has disabled. Srinivas Koti, can we help, please?
Yes, sir. Please ask him to on the video.
I'm on that. I'm trying to switch on. I say that you can't start your video because the host has disabled it.
Aha. So what can we do? It looks like okay. So while they are fixing it, maybe I will give an introduction to Padmakar, and in the meantime, we'll figure it out between them. Just like Sandeep and Raghu Kishore, Padmakar Guntur, who is also based in Hyderabad, works for Infosys as a manager. And he is also very passionate about both Telugu and Sanskritam literature. And he also wrote a large number of poems, and he wrote specifically on Sri Rama and goddess Durga. He is really inspired by, in Mallikarjuna and Brahmaramba in Srisailam. And he is inspired by Shankara's Advaita philosophy, and he visits Sringeri quite often. And he loves to teach poems to his children, Havani and Panini. Actually, one of the things which is wonderful, I heard, sometime we need to listen to, is how his daughter, who is not even 10 years old, reciting Raghuvira Gajam. It's amazing to hear. Okay, so Padmakar, okay, good. We can see your face now. That's good. So tell me a little bit about your impressions on, first of all, would you like to recite your stotram first? Then we'll take it to the questions.
Yeah. I offer my pranams to everybody here. Sabhaye namaha, Sabha Saraswati namaha. So the moment you called me and to talk me about Advaita and Shankaracharya, it is I started writing a small poem on him. I was just thinking, how can I describe him? He's like an ocean, he's like a sun. I'm too small to describe him, but still I try to write within my capacity, and offer some poems to him. So I just recite this: Prasthanatrayikin subhashya rachanan bhavyam bhuga chesi dvaitasthanam bunuralchuvanini. Prasthanatrayikin subhashya rachanan bhavyam bhuga chesi dvaitasthanam bunuralchuvanini. Mahadvaita chalananda sanusthatan bhavasharvari vipatabhanun Shankaracharyunin Nesthapinchi manassunandu kolutun nityambu katyayani. So this is like this. He is the saint who wrote the Bhashyam for Prasthanatrayi. See, if you look at Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishad or the Brahma Sutram, they are too complex to understand. Unless the Bhashyam is written, had the Bhashyam was not there, if somebody attempts that, he would end up with an infinite confusion. And he has attempted it so structurally and categorically and written the Bhashyam. And with that great Bhashyam and with that as the arms, when he started walking across the length and breadth of India, and when he met people, with this great art of Samvada, he made the rank of Dvaita to come down. Earlier, it's Dvaita, it's like, we were, the entire world is trying to differentiate among themselves, and trying to, come down. He really made the rank of Dvaita to deteriorate. And he is like a sun who can disturb the darkness of the worldly sorrows. He's like Bhavashar Vari Vipatabhanun. We are in infinite darkness. It is only Shankaracharya, like a sun, can really shatter the darkness of us. So I would really love to keep Shankara in my heart and pray him like anything.
Okay.
So that's how I open this my opening note, on Sri Shankara.
Oh, that's wonderful. Please continue. With your.
So it's like as you have told, I wrote for many songs, So I started maybe when in my early 20s, as people say, is a fool. If somebody is not a communist or rationalist in his 20s, and he is still a fool after his 30s. So maybe, I see him as a hero. It's like, I have, he's like no less than a great action hero for me. It's like, when I start looking at him,
Shankara, action hero.
Yes, I'm amazed. See, he has no defeat in his entire life. Anybody will have a defeat. He's never defeated. Kaladi baluda atadu. Kaladi baluda atadu prakhandu dakhandu Shankarundu. Ee nelaku gnana margamunu nerpina nikkabu deshikundu. Ekalapu tarka shastramulu kavaramundi nagalchuvaadu keelai. Lavaleshamaina Sukhalalana Korani Samyamindrude. He's a small Balaka from Kaladi. And he's a Prakhandu, Akhandu, Shankarundu. You know, if somebody looks at him, assume that Shankara is walking on the road, you know, how would somebody describe him? He's like a hero is coming like that, you know. He is the man who taught the Gnana Marga to this country, you know. Otherwise, we were at utter chaos. We were, you know, as Raghu was saying, you know, we were with 72 different religions and everybody speaking his own language, his own thought, you know, and it is in an utter confusion the world is. And he has really brought the entire country in one state. And, you know, and I thought this way, you know, see, assume that, you know, it was those times, you know, where science was not so developed and our intellect was not so great. And, you know, somebody, he could really defeat those people. But it is not like that. Even after 10,000 years, somebody comes with a new logic and new thought, it still gets defeated by Advaita. No, Ekala Putarka Shastramuka Avaramundina. It is not that year or this year. Any after 1,000 years, still a different logic comes and still tries to, you know, hit Shankara's Advaita, it gets utterly shattered. Kilai Lavaleshamaina Shukalalana Korani Samyamindrude. He's that man is like a saint, you know, not even a single worldly pressure. He walks and, you know, and he gives a great pleasure to the entire world. And when I get a different thought like this, you know. So when Kruta Yuga was there, it was Dakshinamurti who sat, you know, near the banyan tree, and, you know, with his silence and with a smile, you know, with his chin mudra, he was able to give a lot of jnana to the, you know, older students, you know, who were great saints, you know. But it was that time when his silence could teach a lot of things. But it is this Kali Yuga where silence, we are too ignorant to interpret the silence of Dakshinamurti. And it was that reason, maybe I thought, you know, why Shankara himself, you know, incarnated as Shankaracharya, that Dakshinamurti has come as Shankaracharya. That's how I thought like this. Matala dadi chettu devara malli puttenu chudara. Chettu Devara, he is the man, you know, who was sitting in front of the tree. Again, he came again. Koti vadamu lokkatai nanu gotito tegatarchura. Come, what may be your Tarka Shastra? Come, what may be your idea? He would just kill it. Meti dharmamu nilchi jadiki melu cheyunu ganchura. See, had Shankaracharya was not there, there is nothing called India like this. We would have been broken into 10,000 pieces, trust me. So he has made the country to stand on a single united, you know, and, you know, it is Shankaracharya who has helped to do this. Patiyautana pada padmamu pattikolchumu yonaram. What you can do is just surrender yourself to Shankara. Just surrender yourself to Shankara and just start practicing what he says. That's the simplest way where you can ignite yourself, where you can really go to the next level.
Right.
That's.
So you have more part of slokas, or shall I ask?
Yeah. You can ask. Maybe I can recite my slokas in the relevant places.
Sure.
Or maybe I'll just say the slokam before you say, no. So
complete that.
So
that would be...
when I was looking at the history of Shankaracharya, this man says Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, and it is too simple a sentence, but it's too complex to understand. It is extremely complex than any other mathematical or scientific equation to understand or to practice.
Right.
And when he says Brahma Satyam, but he also has great love to his mother. But when he comes to his mother, I don't know if he has treated our mother as Brahman, or he says our mother is different than Brahman.
Right.
But no, I'm truly touched, you know, when he comes to Aryamba, and, you know, his love towards his mother is eternal. Amba kosamunim nagagatulanta marchina Shankara. When her mother was unable to go to the riverbed to get some water, and she, because of her age, And
Yeah.
it was his grace, who made the river to turn a different shade, or different light, and come in front of her mother. Amba kosamu nimnaga gatulanta marchina shankara అంబనంబగనంబరంబుకునంత్యకాలపు పొద్దులో అంబ సత్యము మిథ్య కాదనటాలపించిన స్వామి ఆర్యాంబ చేసిన పుణ్యమేమిటి రత్నమౌనిను పొందగన్. What tapas did Aryamba did, or how could she get you as a son? It's like, you have promised that, mother, I would come back when you are passing this earth, when your soul reaches Sri Mahavishnu. And he has really come, he has kept to his word. I don't know where he was in the part of India. He really came back to Kaladi, and and he makes her mother to see Lord Vishnu. And this man who says Brahma is Satyam and every Jagat is Mithya, if in Jagat Mithya's mother is also Mithya, but he doesn't say that, he goes back to her mother and say, no, yes, maybe Brahman is mother, and mother is different or exception, I don't know. I'm too small to understand, but his love to his mother is extremely appraised. It's like, it's really great. I'm really truly touched by this thought.
Wonderful, wonderful. How did you get interested in this Shankara, and when did you stop focusing on your engineering and your job and family, and start writing and thinking about Shankara and about Amma and all of them?
No, it is like this. I started writing poetry just for fun. It was like, as anybody small poet starts, I was also writing about a lot of fancy things, a lot of fancy things. But I was not really a spiritual person, maybe I was not aware of this lot of spirituality and something. On a random day, I was just reading some of the Telugu vernaculars where I read this Bhajagovinda Stotram.
Okay.
And Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamudamate. And I understood that it was in his entire literature, entire time, he says, hey Muda, ho Murka, you are wasting your life. It is only at that place he says, he really hits you. He really pins at you and says that, otherwise he is very soft in his writing. Is it that only one place, maybe, he says, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamuda, hey Mudamate, oh numb fellow, you're wasting your time, and that was, I was really shocked to see that. And as I was thinking, I was so attached to my grandparents, and right from my childhood, I was so worried that someday they will pass from me. As a matter of fact, everybody has to leave this world and go to a different state. And I was so worried that someday my grandmother or my grandfather would leave me. Right? It is one sorrow that I had right from my childhood. Okay. So, had I not read Bhajagovinda Stotram, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Sayanam, Iha Samsare, Bahutustare, Krupaya Pare, Pahimurare, had I not read that, I would have entered into a great depression when my grandmother and my father passed this world. And that makes me to write this small 3 poems, I'll just recite this. Radu radata needu vidya, radu radata vittame. Whatever you read, whatever you know, it doesn't come with you. Whatever you earn, it doesn't come with you. Radu radata gauravam bata, radu radata bharyaye. Whatever social prestige you have, whatever fame and name you have earned, it doesn't come with you. Whatever, how beautiful is your wife, how lovable are the children, they'll not come with you. Podu podani mayalo padi pogu chesina dehame. It's like, it's a maya. If you would understand this, we love this body like anything, as if this is permanent, this is eternal. Though I tell this, but still I love this. I'm trying to tell to myself, this is, we love this. We do a lot of service and sacrifice to this body, and we protect this like anything. But this doesn't come with you. నీది కాదట నీది కాదట నిన్ను పట్టిన కాలుడే. When that day comes, Kalaha comes, when as Bhagavat Padaha says, when the Yamadharmaraja comes in front of your house and stands, you have to leave this and have to come. However cry you make, it doesn't matter. Enni janmalla nettadeltuvu enni marulu povuchun. ఎన్ని యోనుల పుట్టుకొత్తువు ఎన్ని బాధలు పొందుచున్. నిన్నలేనిది రేపు రానిది నేడిదే ఎరుకన్గొనిన్. నిన్ను నీవొకసారి గాంచుము నిత్య సత్యము నేర్చుచున్. How many births you wish to come out of this? How many worldly pleasures you want to enjoy, and how many rebirth you want to have? How many times you want to die? How many times you want to really rotate in the womb of your mother and come out of that vagina of the mother? And how tough it is, how are you not really ashamed of that? Are you not really, do you really enjoy the pain all that you have in your entire life? Why do you once retrospect yourself? Why do you look at yourself? You please understand that whatever has passed is all nothing. It's all zero. Whatever that you think of tomorrow you are not sure of that. It's completely uncertain. You don't know whether you pass today or not. And given that you have this entire minute, you please take this minute to look at yourself and understand that you are nothing but Brahman. See, it is the only thing where you can come out of that. Bharya emiti putrudemiti bhagyamemiti mityara. కార్యమేమిటి కర్మదేమిటి కామ్యమేమిటి మాయరా. ధుర్య భారము మోయుచుందువు దుఃఖమొందుదు మానవ. తార్యమౌహరి పాద పద్మము తార్యమౌహరి పాదమే భవదాస్యమున్ విడిపించురా. Who is your wife? What is your money that you have? What is that you are doing? What is that you wish? And what is that you are getting? Everything is all mithya. And you are like an ox, like going, having a lot of weight in your back, thinking with a lot of past and, thinking about a lot of future, worried about future. And, you have to understand, you have to come out of this. Please go and immediately say, Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, and go and say. That's the only way you can come out of that. No, I was just trying to understand Bhaja Govinda in my own small words.
I think, see, what you are doing and what you are saying is really coming out of a deep feeling that you have. It comes through when you communicate. And I really appreciate and connect with your passion and your devotion. And one of the things which we may need to figure out is we need to bring you and Raghu back for a longer conversation where we have a lot more that we can discuss. How about if there are any questions or anything else, Ravi, we can take some questions. Maybe they can address some answers or something. Otherwise, we can also ask both of them, can you upload your stotras and poems to Advaita Academy or wherever we can suggest you place, so that way people who are listening to this and watching you might want to have ability to read them. Either you guys put it on some website and let us know, or you tell us, and then we may be able to make place for you to put it on our Advaita Academy website.
Yeah, so first of all, that was so inspiring. We didn't want to stop. And it was wonderful in Padmakar Garu, Raghu Garu, and Sandeep singing. This whole festival it came to our mind to inspire the young generation. I mean, we are all very young, but you are younger.
Right.
And really to see you share so much passion. And one question that people keep asking during this entire festival is, where do we start? How do we begin? How do we study Vedanta? This is amazing. People somehow think that they have to go read up all the Prasthanatrayam for next 20 years. And here you are, Padmakar Garu, just took one. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamate. It hit you like an arrow. And it has transformed your inner being, like, from the inside. And so I think to everybody listening, and including myself, you don't have to know everything. You just have to just take one thing and feel it and make it part of your DNA. and then obviously, Shankara will slowly spread in your body. And it is such a wonderful thing. So what will be your message to sort of, young people today in India, especially, that are so distracted with so many other things? What's your message?
Is it a question to me? Is it a
Yes,
question
sir.
to me?
Padmakar, and of course, and Raghu
Yes,
Garu, you can.
Maybe I'll think like this, Gatsa gatsani palku shudruni gada tattvapu prashnato సచ్చిదాత్మను కాంచు నెవ్వడు జన్మ మృత్యువు లెవ్వనందిచ్చగించవు ఆతడేయట దివ్య దేశిక నాకనిన్ స్వచ్ఛమౌ వచనంబులాడిన సంయమీశ్వర మృఖ్యదన్. When Shankaracharya meets the Chandala and say Gatsa Gatsa, just more of this. When Shankaracharya says, you are Atman, I am Atman, you are Annamaya Kosham, and I am also the same Kosham, or you are the Brahmamaya Kosham, I am the Brahmamaya Kosham, and there is no difference between that. And that moment, even Shankaracharya re-enlightens himself and says that, you are nothing but Brahma, and come what may be your caste, come what may be your creed, and you are like my Guru. And it is to that place where we have to really enlighten ourselves. We should not really confine to small things. We have to start looking a step away from this. See, I'll just say this, assume that we differentiate as North India and South India, black and white, man and woman, and maybe some an animal and a human being. We can't survive, unless we look as a human being, as a Brahma. We cannot love the entire world. In this very tough times where this horrible disease is killing the entire human race, if we do not stand as one and look as a human, and we cannot survive. This is what Shankara has told. This is even on a realistic note, this is even good for our survival thing. We have to really look human as a human, or prani as a human, or prani as a Brahman. Entire Chaitanya, we have to look entire world as one Chaitanya. Then only we will really spread the love, harmony, and the beauty of the existence of our things. Otherwise, there is no point living, if we don't really love and enjoy what we are here.
Beautiful. So that is the entire environment, animal kingdom, other people, we need to deal with it. Wonderful. Yes. Raghu, what is your last message? Raghu, and then we'll go to Sandeep.
So I mentioned in earlier shloka. So look at the Rudra's family, Sri Shankara Bhagwan's family. Each and every person is peculiar, but they all stay together at Kailasa with love on each other. So that is only the way we can spread harmony in the world. And I feel that is the point. That is the Advaita in samsara. So that is what I reiterate. So we have to see Atman in everywhere. So in that way we can spread harmony. So that these two shlokas, as I mentioned earlier, we need to bring these two in our day-to-day life. So that is only the way that we can spread harmony throughout the world.
Excellent. Thank you. Sandeep, you have any message that you want to give out before we end?
Prasadji, as the question was asked, that in today's generation, the youngsters and everyone is distracted. I think not only youngsters, but also elders, and everyone is distracted, the soul in this fast-paced world. So what I personally think is the whole responsibility falls on the parents, because as everyone needs a guru, so the gurutvam starts from parents to guide the children. And as from my experience, I can say very strongly that I was guided very strongly in spirituality and the concept of God from my parents, and especially my father, and who is there in the backside. And seeing him as a live example in his life, I learned a lot of things. So because a lot of things are unsaid, as Dakshinamurti just sits and without any words, he just makes people dissolve or absorb the messages in the same way my father did it to me. Without saying anything, he just made me absorb whatever essence he had to give. So what I feel is, in today's generation, the whole responsibility is on parents initially nurturing them towards the right path and towards right thoughts, towards the right morals, and towards right action. So I really feel that it would, in this situation, we go towards a better, definitely better situation, because we are seeing everything cleaning up, including our hearts and minds. So let's all pray for the best for the whole world. Loka samasta sukhino. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think mine, only thing I can say is I really enjoyed working with three of you. For me, when I looked at awakening the Sankara within you, I'm sure I could bring from various quotes and various things to make it interesting from Sankara's itself. But I felt it is much more fun and enjoyable if we listen to the young singers and the young writers of today, who are not just professional singers and professional writers, but who are dealing with both the technology and the future. At the same time, you are connected to the past. So you are the bridges. And the last message that you gave is something that I'm also looking at. How can I have manasa, vacha, karma? How can I practice what I preach? Can I actually bring that Advaita Bhavam within myself and figure out a way in which I can be a role model that I'm proud of my own behavior, so that my children can look at me. And if I can operate out of that, then I have a feeling that whatever awakens within us will also kind of have an impact, inductive impact on our children, and we'll take it forward. Thank you, Ravi. And thank
Wonderful,
you,
Prasad Garu.
Academy, for giving this chance.
Prasad Garu, Padmakar Garu, and
Thank
Sandeep Garu and Raghu ji. Really, really inspiring. Again, this festival was done to sort of create a curiosity among people to learn more, and I'm sure all the listeners today are thinking, okay, we got to do something about this. And again, this festival is not going to end. We'll formally end on the 27th with a closing keynote and an inspirational message from Samedu Shanmuga Sarma Garu. And but this flow should continue. This Advaitamrita version is going to continue, and we need all of you to be ambassadors. And you already are ambassadors, but please stay engaged. Advaita Academy website and Advaita Academy is not going to leave you. We just make sure that you are engaged in our attempt to reach 1 billion people. And if this Adi Shankara, the app title for today is Awaken Adi Shankara, means he's already there. Right? We are not
Exactly.
saying bring Adi Shankara from the outside to the inside. So the title is so beautiful, that awaken the Shankara. So let us give hope to everybody that this great legend is there. You just have to awaken through studying his life and studying his works. So thank you all once again. We have a second video, which is why we have to stop. Otherwise, we can go on. We just love each of your energy, your passion, and your love for Adi Shankara and for the Advaita, thought process. Thank you so much once again.